Shemai, bore da, sut dych chi? Dwi'n da iawn, diolch. Another instalment of Learn Welsh Pembrokeshire with me, HelloTomDyer and Pure West Radio, and of course Learn Cymraeg Pembrokeshire, under the wonderful and expert supervision of Bydig Richard. First of all, I hope you enjoyed Welsh Language Music Day. On Pure West Radio, we were playing Welsh music every hour on the station to celebrate Welsh language music. And also, Learn Cymraeg Pembrokeshire, if you go to their Facebook page, you will see that they also shared lots of different bits and pieces as well to celebrate music in the medium of Welsh. And even press statements are coming out in Welsh as well, just when people thought the language was no longer relevant. Ha! I laugh in their face. Last week, you'll remember that we talked about when things were kind of more or less something, so mwy or fwy, llai, less. And also, if you were saying that something's more expensive, you might say dritach, so or vridach, vritach. So adding ach was a good way of making something more of something. Unless, of course, it was like lliwgar, you wouldn't go lliwgarach. You would say yn fwy lliwgar. It was more colourful. So that's where we were at last week. This week, we've been looking at a similar kind of thing, but instead of saying that something is taller or older, henach, for example, it's now looking at who is the oldest. So the top of the scale, if you get what I mean. And very simple, similar to what we have with the last unit, which was henach. Well, it's henna. So that's how you would say that something is the oldest. And if you were saying that Geraint was the tallest, you would say Geraint yw'r tala. Geraint yw'r ifanca. So Geraint is the youngest. Dwi'n ifanca. I'm the youngest in my family. And it's similar, it's exactly the same. An yw'r galla. An is the most sensible. I like that one. And this unit has been made up of different phrases and statements to say who's taller than someone, who's the tallest, who's the shortest out of all these people. And it was a different case of exercises through that. But there's also been different hints and tips as to work out whether a word is masculine or feminine. So Caerdydd yw'r ddinas fwyaf yng Nghymru. So Cardiff is the biggest city in Wales. So Caerdydd, ddinas, we've got a double D there. So there's some female mutation, which means that fwyaf, which would be moya for biggest, yng Nghymru in Cymru. So different things to look out for in the sentence structures, which is really interesting. So a sosban yw'r bwyty gorau. So a sosban is the best restaurant, and bwyty has not mutated. So that's a masculine word. Otherwise it would be fwyty gorau. So little ways that we can work out whether something's masculine or feminine in the sentences that were being shown. And what was really cool with this unit as well, because we're talking about kind of exam season now and whether or not we're going to enter them, and because you don't have to, but if you do and you don't turn up, it's gonna cost you £20. So you might as well just enter it, is my logic. But unlike last year, we were limited to the speaking exam, arholiad siarad. There's also the option of having the reading and the listening and the writing. Reading, writing, listening, and the speaking. It's all done on one day. No pressure. But what's good about these units now is that we are filling up more and more with sgwrs, conversations, and also continuous passages. So we were looking at, if I can find it, if I've flown past it, we were looking at different things to read with questions to answer after it, to get us ready and primed for these exams that are going to take place in June. I think it was June. I'm going to stick with June. And it's a really good way of reading and understanding and of what it is that you're going through. So catching up with those, or making sure you're not caught out by masculine and feminine words, understanding different pros and understanding kind of past, present and future tense all in one place. and also theming them as well, which is only going to be a good thing because part of the exam is we need to talk for like up to 10 minutes really on different topics that are going to come up or that we've been learning as part of our gwaith cartref, which I really need to catch up on. So we are getting primed and ready. We've got plenty of time left to go to carry on learning. We're currently on unit 17. These last few units have been really nice. They've been like a return to what learning Welsh was with the Munediad, where, right, you're learning this little chunk as to and how you can apply it, which I've found really useful. A lot of the stuff that we're looking at with prepositions, and it almost felt like the theory of language, which I found difficult personally, purely because I just can't retain the pattern, because it's not a pattern, it's something that now falls into the other patterns that we've learned. So it's nice to learn patterns again. And I do believe that the patterns are going to continue as well, because we're looking at pwy, beth, faint, pryd, sit, blair and pam, like a journalist. So who, what, how many, when, how, where, and why. So that's what we're looking at. So exchanging factual and personal information, that's what we're looking at in Uned 18. So I shall see you again next week. A very short video, an actual short video this time, because of these patterns that we're learning and the nature of how it's being taught. So all good from me, and hwyl am y tro. Goodbye for now. Gwela I chi wythnos nesa. Hwyl!